welcome to my first ever bullet journal video. I'm still trying to get the hang of where to place the camera and my lighting, so if you guys have any suggestions throughout the entirety of this video, make sure you leave comments down below because this is something that I'm hoping to do a lot of in the next coming months. So if you guys aren't familiar with what a bullet journal is, basically it's any notebook that you want turned into everything that you need. So it's a planner, it's a place to make lists and write collections of things, and for me it's also a very well-used place for standard journaling as well, which is kind of a little one-off of what other typical bullet journals might have on YouTube. So for me, I still journal a lot in here as well. What I wanted to show you guys today is how I'm currently doing my daily pages. So like I said, I have lots of plans to do future bullet journal videos, but today's is just going to look at the daily pages. Other videos I have in mind are complete monthly setups, maybe a flip through at the end of the month, different ideas or collections I have in here, and things of that nature. Hopefully someday I'll show them off to you guys. But today I'm just going to show you how I do my daily pages. These are pages I do every night before bed that prep me for the next day. So they include most of my planning stuff and then a few other things like to-do lists and also some journaling. So it's just how I set up my bullet journal every single day. So let's go ahead and open this up. We are in March right now, and let me get to my tab. So this is stuck on every day all the time. So this is today. This is what a typical daily spread looks like for me. So I have a header here which has the day of the week and then the month and the date. Down here is a timeline. I've stole this idea from, I know a few bloggers or vloggers or YouTubers do it. I've seen it around, so I'll make sure to link some other examples of timelines like this down below so you guys can check those out. But essentially I just start at 7 and go to 10, and then I use a color coding system to mark what I'm doing all day. Then on things that are important for me to denote, like these orange ones are meetings or things of that nature, I draw down a little line and put a little note of what I have to do. Right below that, I always do 2 columns of to-do lists, a work to-do list and a personal to-do list. There we go. Film the Bujo video. That's what I'm doing right now. And then below that is where I start my journaling. So I put the time because obviously it's on this day. I draw a green line just because I think it looks pretty. And then I start my journaling, and this goes on for however many pages I journal. The biggest thing here is you'll notice that this page to the left is blank. It's not always blank, but I always start my daily pages on the right side of the page. So for example, yesterday, which I didn't journal at all yesterday, I made my daily page but did not journal. So nothing carried over, nothing came down here or carried over on this page. The day before, you can see I journaled, so there's stuff to the left, but I always start my daily pages on the right. There's another one. Blank page, daily page on the right. So we're going to make the daily page for tomorrow, which is Friday. I have this handy little pencil case, which is so cute. I got at Books A Million, that has all of my pens that I use on a daily basis when I'm out and about. So these include pens like my Jetstream 1.0. This is what I use for journaling purposes. It's thick and flowy, and I don't keep my journaling portion of this very neat, so I like this one. And then my Uniball Onyx micro pen rates super small. I think it might be half a millimeter, and that's what I use for my meetings and my to-do lists, things that might need to kind of be smaller and look a little neat. I like to use this one. I also have in here a few other black pens that I use regularly. So I have a whole bunch of these Papermate flares. The black one here is what I primarily use for bolding things, making bold lines, writing these bold headers here. It's in the size medium. And then like I said, I have a whole bunch of these, so I have them in different colors as well. And these are the pens that I use for my color coding system up here. So I use all of these colors. I have more, but these are just a few of them. And then finally, these are some of my favorite pins. I just got them. These are two Tombos. I ordered them off Amazon in a pack of 3. I'm not exactly sure what each one is called. I know they're different. I think this might be their hard point brush pen. I'm not really sure the naming of this, and everything on the side is in Japanese. So this is what I use to write things like this. I'm trying to get the hang of brush pens. Like I said, this just came earlier this week, these sets, so I've never used it before, but I'm trying to get the hang of it. I think I'm doing pretty good, and I usually just write my days of the week in this pen because they're really, really pretty. And then this pen here is essentially the same thing. It's got a black side over here, which I believe has a little bit of a softer tip. And then this is what I mostly use it for. It's got this side here, which is gray. So I'll do some shadowing and things of that nature with this pen here. That's the majority of my black pens. That's everything I have in here. I also have a pencil in here just in case. And then finally, I have my monthly pins. So what this means is every month I choose a color scheme and I stick to that color scheme throughout my journal. So for example, these green lines, that would be a different color depending on the month. And then when I write collections and things of that nature, I use these colors to kind of decorate and write with that. So these are my colors for March, for St. Patrick's Day. Let's find one. Oh, this is a good one. So this, you can see I'm really utilizing the theme here, and that's what I use these for. That's about it in my little pouch. This goes with me everywhere. It's in my purse all the time. So these are my daily pins for whenever I need anything to write. And then, like I said, I have all of these color coding pens. And these pens are stored in my nightstand in a little plastic container. And I just grab them out, so when I go to bed, I go to write my journal, I get a little lap board and set it down, and then I get out all my color coding pens out of my nightstand and start making this. So let's do that now. Let's pretend I'm in bed, getting ready for the next day. We're going to flip on over to my next page that is blank on the right. So that'll be this right here. This here is a blog post that is coming soon, so I have it flagged so I can flip to it really quick. So let's go ahead and get started. The very first thing I do is my header. So let's grab one of my Tombos, and I'm going to write Friday. With my monthly color, I'm going to write what's tomorrow, March 17th. Great, so now my header's done. The next pen I'm going to grab is my black paper mate. This is where I do my timeline. So I just make it as big as the column, or as the row here. And I don't really use a ruler or anything. These daily pages don't have to be perfect. I'm doing them every day, so I don't want to focus on just making everything perfect. It's too much of a pain. So let's split this up. And I start at 7 o'clock and go till 10. That's great. Okay. Cap that up. And now comes the fun part. So I grab my phone. This is how I do my major planning, my future planning. And I go to Friday. So this has purple is my personal calendar, red is my work calendar, and then I think I have a few other calendars in here, but it looks like Friday, tomorrow. I don't really have much. Some of these things I don't need to put on my calendar, like submitting my hours or running Q-Caller, which is a task I have to do for work. That doesn't need to be listed here. It's a daily task. So let's just put in that I work from 8 to 5, which is standard. And then we're having a potluck at the end of work, so I'm going to put that in as well. I'm going to actually put it in as a meeting, so we'll use orange for that. Let's do that first. So let me grab my orange, and from 3 to 5. color that in. And that's literally it. So I'm going to take the same orange and just draw a little line and a dot. And then the entire time during that day is just work. So I'm going to use pink, which is work, and I'm actually going to shift the way that my diagonal lines go. Just makes it so I can see the differentiation between colors a little bit better. Okay, great. Well, that is a pretty boring day, but that's everything I have to do. Let's grab my micro Uniball pen, and we're just going to write March Madness Potluck. Okay. The next thing on my daily pages is my to-do list. I just start a line down from whatever my last appointment was, and I divide it into two columns, work and personal. That's about the middle, and I always do 8 lines down. So if I have a busy day planned, typically what I'll do is I will write a sticky note, so especially for like work tasks, I'll write a sticky note at work, put it somewhere, and then when I do my daily pages at night, I can copy all that stuff down. So today, I didn't really have anything planned to do for work tomorrow, and there's nothing on this side that needs to be carried over. So for example, pay my credit card here, I put a little arrow, and I carried it over to today, and I did that. I also use the line to cross things out that are no longer relevant or I'm just not going to do anymore. It's not worth carrying over, something like that. I just cross it out. So I don't think I have many tasks I want to do tomorrow. It's Friday. Let's plan on just at work. I'm going to write to catch up on my queue, which is a pretty standard daily task, but I'd like to get that on top of things. And then personal wise, I need to do my cleaning checklist. And I think that's it. So pretty standard day. I will add to it as the day goes on, and usually that's why I have 8 lines. That's usually sufficient enough, and so I make sure I have enough room. If I do decide to journal before I add some tasks, I want to make sure I have enough room for some tasks. And that's it, guys. That is the entirety of my daily pages. This is what I do every single night before bed. It literally takes no time at all. This also gives me an opportunity to get out my bullet journal and then journal a little bit before I fall asleep as well, which I like to do most of the time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's always a blast to film some cool videos for you guys, and I love knowing that you're liking what I'm creating. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions or questions. I'll make sure to link all of my pins and any information that might be relevant to my bullet journal in the description in case you're curious, and I'll also have a related blog post going up, so that'll be linked down there as well. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. I hope to be doing more of these bullet journal videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!